starts. He had 5 really good starts. They had 2 bad ones. What do you think's going on?
Well, he's not pitching ahead, and he's not being as aggressive with his fastball as he was, 4 or 5 starts ago, when that stretch of really good starts that he had. The last 2 have obviously been a struggle for him. Now, the previous start, he was a little bit unlucky. If we turned that double play in that second inning of that ball game, it might be a different story for him. But he just didn't get untracked today, and we're going to need him to get untracked heading into the second half.
Is your bullpen? It's been so good, but you go back to the last 12, 13 appearances, and you don't have the same effectiveness.
I would argue against that. They've hit a couple little bumps in the road. A couple individuals have, but like Vinny, for instance, today comes in, strikes out the side. He's probably hit the most notable bumps in the road the last couple of outings. So that was great for him to get that inning in with 3 days off. To make his all-star break is certainly a lot better. But I would argue against our bullpen struggling at all. They've been terrific for a year and a half in my mind, and when they have struggled of late, they've just been little bumps in the road, and it's been because our starters have got them in the game a little bit too early. So hopefully we can rectify that.
Break comes at a good time, though. The bullpen has been used a lot, so this is a welcome break.
Yeah, it is. Today was a lot to pick up, 6 innings. So yeah, it does come at a good time. Fortunately, we were able to stay away from Durbin, who's pitched 6 out of 9 days, and we had Mitch out there, but we didn't use him, and it's nice to not have to use Chris heading into the All-Star game. I think we'd all agree we'd love to see him be able to pitch an inning in that game.
Tim, did you guys pull Carrasco so early because you didn't like what you saw mentally from him?
That it's usually a combination of things, and yeah, that's part of it. But the fact of the matter is they had a bunch of runs on the board too in 3 innings. But Carlos is a young guy, and he's still learning to pitch at this level, and he's still learning how to handle himself emotionally and mentally at this level, which for a lot of guys with talent like his is the last thing to come. So yes and no is the best way to answer that.
Tim, halfway through the season right now, how will this break help the team?
Well, I think it'll help a lot. I think if you would have asked any of us or any of our fan base, anybody that works in the building, if we could get to the All-Star break with a chance to be either a half game up or a half game down in our division, would you take it? I would have said, yeah. Let's fast forward right to the break and get going. So I think in that aspect, we've probably exceeded many people's expectations. Now I think that we have, and we are in this position, our expectations as a team and as an organization ought to be and are much greater. We've got to this point, and there's less than half a season left, so there's no reason for us to think that we can't compete and be there at the end.
Coming off the series win against New York and then the first game against Toronto on Thursday, losing 3 straight against the Blue Jays, do you feel like you lost some momentum going into the All-Star break?
Not really. It's never good to go into the break losing 3 straight, but I think anybody that was here Thursday night, that first game, it could have been 4 straight pretty easy. We probably had no business winning that game. So, you just try to take the positives out of every defeat that you can and go forward and not focus on them. We've avoided the long, sustained losing streaks to this point. Hopefully that'll continue. We have to pitch better, and we have to get more timely hits.
With the final score, it's kind of a moot point, but Jose Bautista came up. There was a base open. You had a left-handed pitcher. They had a left-handed batter on deck. Any thoughts about pitching around him and putting him on base there as opposed to letting him beat you?
No, in a situation where you're down 5 or 6 runs, you can't be pitching around people, Jose Bautista or anybody.